Today's video is sponsored by Trainwell. Whew. It's gonna be the drop waist dress pattern from this YouTuber. This is a rather large pattern. There's like 20 pieces. So some things to know, I ended up doing this opposite. Now that I'm putting it all together, I'm like, wait a minute, I should have done it this way. So number one, this is printed on US letter. In Korea, we only have A4, so I had to scale everything down 97% so the actual pattern could fit. Number two is when putting everything together, some things are gonna overlap. Put the papers together like row by row horizontally. They're just gonna be right next to each other, so you could just tape that. When you're putting them together vertically, like in a column, that's when the papers are gonna overlap. I think it's probably easier if you put everything next to each other together and then attach it row by row. Because right now, how I'm doing it, I'm like, papers aren't lining up like just a tiny baby bit, which I hope isn't gonna be a problem. So now I'm gonna start cutting out my pieces. Here we go. Woo!
No more sunny days, no more sunny days. I got a heart that won't behave. I got a mind gonna make me insane.
We have our pieces cut out. Thing that I need to do whenever I start a sewing project, I need to finish it, especially something that is big. If it's like a small thing, then I'm fine to just put it away for the next day. Have I ever done that? No, I haven't. But because this is gonna just take a lot of time, I really want to see if I can just finish it all in a day. And it helped just because this is a pattern piece. So now I'm gonna put the lining and the outer fabric together. Let's see how it works. What I ended up doing was I added in 1.5 centimeters of seam allowance, but because how this pattern was printed, still some parts where I had to like guess because the actual line wasn't shown. Your girl is feeling like Goldilocks. One was too small, this one was too big. Well, that one was like a little bit too small, but initially I added the seam allowance of 1.5 centimeters. I was going to do it at 1 centimeter. But then I was like, no, why don't I just do 0.5 just to be safe? But there are so many panels. So now the back is pretty big. So if it's like this part is still gonna be big and all that stuff. So I think the fitting is just gonna be a little bit weird. So we're gonna go back to, instead of 0.5, we're gonna put it in 1 centimeter to test it out. And then I'll work my way in if I need to. Just to show you the difference, this is the one that I put in like 1.5 to almost 2. And the back part is good, but like where it hits my hips, that's where it's too tight. Guess what I should have done is that had I made a mock-up, I could have made the bottom half just a little bit wider, but I didn't do that. It is what it is. 1 centimeter and it was too big, so I went back to the 1.5 centimeters and we basically got the same problem. I don't think the zipper is gonna go all the way like down to my butt. I think if anything, it's just gonna go like right here. So maybe it'll be okay. Like if it goes to like here, it's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the 1.5 because I still want this to be tight. I don't know. Please? Abby, turn off the camera. Press the red button. Thank you. Thank you for being such a big help in my life. You've always been a food. The way I have to sit on my floor for hours twisting myself to cut out pieces or put things together, constantly having to switch between the floor and the couch to sew, my back and oh my god, my knees are always hurting and my joints feel really stiff. I haven't had much time to work out and I could definitely feel the consequences of that when I sew. Honestly, it's been really hard to get back to the gym, whether that's that's just time or lack of motivation, but I really want that to become part of my lifestyle again. So that's why I'm so happy that today's sponsor is Trainwell. Trainwell is a unique fitness app that combines personalization and accountability of a human expert and gives you the flexibility to ensure that you'll continue on your wellness journey. And what I love about Trainwell is that human connection of actually talking to a trainer. And my trainer, Dana, is just so amazing.
This was genuinely so freaking nice. Then we started talking about like my shoulder, because my shoulder has been messed up since the day I was born. And it's not even something that I even would think about talking, because it's just something that I've always had to deal with my whole life. And she was like, I'm really passionate about injuries. I've had a lot of injuries myself, so we're gonna work on a lot of things that are gonna help you, area, muscles, and mobility and stuff. So it's just like, oh my God, we're starting tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Dana is tailoring my workouts for my injuries. Kind of felt emotional because these injuries aren't something I've ever thought of as injuries. It's just something I've lived with my whole life. So hearing how she really wants to help me out, making a workout routine that's sustainable for me to actually keep up, that's just something I've never had. Not only has Trainwell given me a great trainer, it's also given me reachable goals and has connected me to someone that will help me stay accountable. Dana messages me like, hey, have a great weekend. How is this workout? How did this thing feel? And I work out from home, but you could also do this at the gym. I just love that I don't have to think about what I need to do anymore because someone else is keeping track and also creating these personalized workouts for me. So Trainwell is offering you homies a 14-day free trial and your own expert trainer, all with the link down below. So if you've been wanting to start, restart, or change up your wellness journey, give Trainwell a try and let's get back to sewing. Okay, seam ripping was done. Cut the seam allowance, folded stuff up, finished the back panel, turning everything inside out. I'm gonna press it. I'm gonna try this thing on and then I'm going to put an invisible zipper. Now here's the thing. The only invisible zipper I have is either black or green. It's invisible, so will you see it? I have a lot of black, but I only have one green one. I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna be using this green invisible zipper, but maybe at some point I will. So let's go with a black invisible zipper. Just a little tip, when you're folding something like this where you want the seam to really lay flat, what you wanna do is roll the two sides together until stitch kind of pops out right at the top, and then go ahead and iron that. Moment of truth. Okay, it is definitely big at my waist. It's gonna be a little bit gaping here, but that's fine because I think I am gonna add in that. Wow, this looks so cute. I know that she added buttons on hers. I really don't want to add in buttons, so I think I'm just gonna sew it. It's too open here. You see that? No! Tempting an invisible zipper. The first thing I'm gonna do is press the seams. So according to the reel, the first thing that I gotta do is sew an actual seam line, or stitch line. So that's what I'm gonna do. As you can see, this is quite large, but I am gonna add in the little loopy thing so that this can, be like snatched. So I guess that's okay. Invisible zipper came out like this. Not the greatest, but do I care at this point? No! Invisible zipper is wonkalicious. That's fine. That's part of her charm. My next problem is I don't know how to finish these straps. I know that she added buttons. I don't want to add any buttons to mine. I figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm folding this part in, and then I'm just gonna push this through and then sew on top of it. It makes a strap. The other thing is big space here, and I'm like, okay, I might have to add in a dart, which I don't want to do. So I now have this centipede looking thing. It's actually starting to freak me out a little bit. I sewed that on each side. Now I'm going to cut down the middle. I'm gonna open the stitch, place this in, and it will be good. Woo. Okay, made the second hole. This part is already done. Now I'm gonna insert this into here, sew it up. Dang, it's already 10:17. I wanted to finish this by today, but gathering a skirt shouldn't take that long, so I'm gonna just try. Okay, so to do the skirt part, I looked at Tia's video and she just said just to cut out like a big rectangle. Granted, she was working with scraps, so she was just working with what she had. Okay, so on her YouTube video, she just got a panel gathered that put it on. And because she was working with scraps, I think that was the best course of action for her. But she also said that there's some puckering in the front. And then I read a comment saying that she should actually have a pattern piece to the circle skirt because you can't just gather a panel, put it on, and then it's gonna have like that puckering effect. So I remembered that I did my Sailor Mars costume that also had a cutout at the front. So I looked at how they did their pattern piece, and it's an actual circle skirt. But I already cut all of this. In the comment they said like if you just let people cut out a panel and put it on, like you're gonna have them waste so much fabric. It would be wasting a lot of fabric if they just got a panel, gathered it, and put it onto the skirt. And that's exactly what happened to me, which really sucks because now I'm looking at circle skirt calculators, and unfortunately the width of my skirt isn't enough for the actual circle skirt part, but we're gonna try to make it work. I cannot believe how freaking long this has taken me, all because the skirt could have been so easy, but unfortunately it was not. To let you know what not to do, I did two mistakes when I was making the circle skirt. Number one, I made it to like just like my waist measurement when I really should have doubled the actual measurement. So I put 100 centimeters and then it gave me the pattern, which is this. And it does fit, but the thing is it just fits as if it's a normal skirt, which would just be like this, but you want it to be gathered, so I really needed to double that measurement so then it could look nice and gathered, which is what I did when I made a bubble skirt. And I was like, god damn it. But my fabric was already cut and I was already working with what I had. The total length of the skirt was longer than my fabric. If you see the skirt, it's going up right here in the center. That's the part where I didn't have enough fabric. Oh, that's fine. Let me just put it together like I did the Sailor Moon skirt, which is have the sides up and then everything can be even. Unfortunately, the back side would also have to be this low, and that's just not gonna work. Instead, what I'm doing, the longest parts in the center and the shorter parts on the side, so then it can create some kind of skirt like this, which I think is a cute solution to what is happening. With the additional fabric that was left over when I made the circle skirt, I made 2 additional panels and I'm gonna attach them to each side so it's a little bit longer. Now I'm explaining this and this probably sounds really confusing, but I'm hoping that you are not gonna have to get to this part when you're making this dress, but because I'm here, this is what I'm trying to troubleshoot. I'm getting to that point with sewing where I'm like, I don't give a shit, I just want to finish this. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm so mad about the skirt situation. Had I figured it out, and that's the thing, like last night I was like, you know, I read that comment and I'm like, I wonder if I need to make like a circle skirt because it's the Sailor Mars thing, and I was like, no, whatever, let's just do this. This seems like the easiest thing to do, and that's what messed me up. The easiest thing to do now has become the most complicated thing. So whenever you're doing a sewing project, like take your time, I guess. I think my problem is when I do sewing projects is that I'm doing it for a video, and so I need to finish it, and unfortunately I didn't have any other video lined up, so I feel like pressured to get it done even though there is no deadline. But because I need to put up a video, because I need to make money, I need to pay my rent, and I'm like, okay, well I need to finish this video ASAP. We have a much larger skirt. I'm going to iron this, do the little gathering stitch, put this baby on. If things couldn't get any worse, my iron. I love that for me. I love that for me. I honestly don't know if this is too long. Like if I make this so long, like it's longer than the skirt. So yeah, I ain't trying to. The back is so low. Like I think it should have honestly been right here on me, but it's hitting me like so low. I was gonna do a medium, but then I was worried that it was gonna be a little bit too tight, so I went with a large instead. And the thing is, like this whole top part fits fine. Like this is hitting me right in the center. This looks great because my back is much smaller. Like that's why I have so much additional fabric when really this should have been at least here, but having it here, that's kind of a weird position for a zipper. Forever and a day later, I finally am getting to this part. I think the back pattern piece was just too big for my back. I just hand stitched a dart in there. So much time has actually passed since I've made this dress. Anyways, for a while I just didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with the length, so I asked you guys over on Instagram. It was overwhelming. I had 3 options. I thought y'all were gonna go with the bubble hem, but instead y'all decided on the like V-shape hem. I wanted to do the bubble hem because I think it looked really cute, but I'm also happy that we're not doing the bubble hem because then that means I get to use this extra fabric. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it. There's a lot of things I need to actually fix with this dress. Another thing is like I need to take out this zipper situation because there was no reason for me to do it. Anyways, okay, well, let's get cutting. Ah! Actually, no, taking a look at it with fresh eyes, I could see that this side is messed up. So we need to fix that and then we can cut it. I didn't want to seem ripped, but I guess I'm gonna have to. Okay, so I'm trying on a dress that I think hits me like at a good length. Okay, JK, we're gonna go with this one, but I'm gonna make sure that the back is at least 2 inches lower because that was the problem that I did. I made it a little bit too short. Okay. Wait. I don't know if this is gonna make sense. What I'm hoping is that this gives me like, okay, you can cut like from here. But again, we're gonna make sure that the back though is cut like at least 2 inches more. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. I'm scared. I'm scared. Actually, okay, I'm gonna give myself an inch of seam allowance. Ah, scary. Do this, girl. You can't wuss out, Natalie. You gotta do it. Here we go. This is so scary. Before I do something really dumb, even though I already did this, I should have marked the line and see, oh, okay, this is where I want it. But I already cut this. I'm still gonna mark this line. 2 inches? Yeah, 2 inches. Okay, so what I figured is before cutting all of this, just make some points when it was on the mannequin and now I'm just connecting them. Thing that I'm a little bit worried is like how much do I bring it up, because I don't want to cut all of this and then figure out later because I do want to use this extra fabric for something else. My dress on top of this dress because I just wanted to see, like, the thing is it's hard to tell. I'm like, oh, I didn't cut enough because it looks like it's long. I can't see my legs. So anyways, this part goes up, so I had to do my best with just now I just need to figure out how much I should take it up. But I can't take it up a lot because I'm worried that obviously like my butt is gonna be showing. The amount of times I've taken off this dress. Put it on the mannequin again because I was just making it go from like here to here when I want it to be like a gradual increase. I'm using these two lines to show me like, okay, we should have this like straight and then from there lift it up. I've marked out approximately where it should be. I'm gonna take this off and try to connect it one more time. I wanna make sure that this point ends up coming up, so that's why I need to have it lower.
Sometimes I take a walk, then I forget about the clock. I can slow down. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on rapping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
It has taken me way too long to figure out how to cut this because I was just gonna take the part that I already cut and use it as a template on the other side. But then I realized, wait a minute, the whole reason why we're doing all of this is because one side is higher than the other, so both sides are uneven, so I can't match it to the other side because this is my best idea thus far. I just hung it like with the highest point in the middle and I'm gonna try to just cut it this way. Hopefully that works. Ah! As steady as I can. Wait a minute. I should actually point out where I want it to be. Hopefully this works. If not, we're fucked. Ow, ow, my knees hurt.
Your side.
Oh my god, I did it. Okay. This is the moment of truth. Okay, I feel like okay, I like it, but also it still needs to be hemmed. So it's going to be a little bit shorter. Right now, it throws off like the fact that this is long and then this is short. Like, I don't know if it's looking as good as it did when it was long and this was long also, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep measuring it and like trimming as I need to, and then I'm just gonna hem the hem. I've noticed, much like this frame right now, the center isn't in the center. It's more on this side than on this side. I'm gonna take this all out again and redo it. Since I'm already gonna seam rip that, I'm gonna open this up because this is just like a little bit too high on my neck. Oh, maybe I don't care. It's fine. Let's just keep going. But I'm like, this is a dress that I see myself definitely wearing a whole lot. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a piece that I always gravitate towards. I don't want to always be like, oh, my neck, my neck, my neck. So, okay. Feel it a little bit. I have the power to change it right now. I'm gonna seam rip and just lower it just a little bit more. Lowered it more, and what a difference. And now I don't feel like I'm choking. Oh, I still have to take out the zipper, and I'm gonna do some maintenance, some last minute things for this, and then we'll be done. I don't know if it's necessary to film all of that. And then we're gonna be working on our next project. Okay, so I was gonna finish off the hem, finally, but realized that the inside of my skirt, she's looking like this. I put so much work into the top of this skirt. Everything looked like beautiful and all this good stuff. And then the skirt part is just kind of like there. Try to do a faux casing, kind of like a flat felt seam thing for it. So I'm gonna sew this down and then take whatever is the longer one and just fold it in and then sew that down as well. So at least some of the raw edge is cased inside. So there's some parts where like this one, look what I did. It has been 84 years since I last tried to tackle this project with my duvet cover that Hermione gave me. I have been like wanting to continue on this project, but the things that I wanted to do, I needed the right thread color for it, and I didn't have it and I didn't have the time. But finally this week I was able to go. Now I have 3 days to finish this. So I have 2 additional projects that I want to do. The first one is that I want to make sheared bloomers. So I've been honestly so scared to make it because I'm worried that it's not going to be like enough. Like, it's not going to be big enough, or like what if I make it too small, or what if I make it too big. But I think I just need to go ahead and do it because I'm wasting too much time. I'm actually going to use the pattern that I used to make these bloomers. I'm hoping that this is enough. That's the hope, that's the plan. So first thing is I'm going to cut out all my pieces. Let's get started. I'm so scared. Alrighties. Hopefully this works. Like, I've always been scared because I'm like, oh man, what if I waste fabric? And I really don't want to waste fabric, but it's also like, girl, you ain't gonna know until you know. And the other part of me wanted to wait because I was actually planning on getting a serger, and I had set up a whole coffee donation for people to donate, and some people freaking donated, and I am so appreciative to the people who donated, because honestly I was like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna get a serger. Unfortunately, life is happening and all of that money instead went to bills I need to pay. I still want to buy a serger, but I think I'm gonna have to just keep on the lookout for maybe something that is secondhand so I can afford it. So that's been me. Like, I've stopped with the sewing because I had to do a whole bunch of other videos, and then it also was like, oh, there's a possibility that you might get a serger. Why not wait? So then your projects are a little bit more professional, you know, X, Y, and Z. But now it's like, okay, I don't think you're gonna be getting that serger anytime soon right now. So, you know, just continue on with your projects. I just realized I didn't cut this on the grain line, which is what they said. So now I'm kind of like, okay, this is the back piece not cut on the grain line. Should I then change the front piece to be cut on the grain line? I don't know how that's gonna change things. We'll see. So I put one short leg, one leg together. Well, not really, but kind of. And you already know I did a French seam. Honestly, it's my favorite way to finish off any seam because not only does it look professional, but it's also gonna be nice and tight, and I don't have to worry about any fraying. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. You know what? If it turns out that it's too small, that's fine. We can make the bloomers that we have already made, but now just in a solid color. Great. If it turns out it's too big, that's okay. We open up the sides again and we put it together again. No problem. That's easy. That's fine. I almost made the same mistake that I did when I made my striped shorts, almost making them both the same leg. Ooh, always make sure you gotta double, triple check. All right, when you're trying to make that freaking mistake again. I gotta do thingy of this. We have our two pant legs. Now we are going to put it together. Gotta make sure not to do this incorrectly like last time. Now I'm going to sew down this little slope. Making sure not to sew down this because then I just sewed the whole leg shut. Because we're still doing French seams, wrong sides together. Sew on this end, sew on this end, blah, blah, blah. See you after all of that. Alright, these people, we have our giant shorts. According to all of like these tutorials that I've seen online of how to do sheared bloomers shorts, they always say to do the waistband first. So I'm going to fold over this, like do like a little baby hem and then fold it over one more time and create that casing for the waistband. From what I've seen, I feel like it's better when the waistband is like smaller, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, word of advice, if you're gonna do this, I ended up putting everything together and not marking out my lines when I should have marked out my lines first and then assembled the whole thing. But because I didn't do that, now I have to do it now, and so I'm worried how this is going to turn out. So I'm doing this in increments of 2 centimeters. We'll see how it goes. This is going to take forever. Please don't be like me and remember to score your stuff before you put things together. This took a while. I'm a little bit unsure if it's all gonna like get together. But when I got to the shorts part, like it's kind of weird because one side is higher than the other. So it's not like I can make like a full line. So what I'm gonna do right now is actually finish off the hem of the shorts. I'm gonna attempt to use my rolled presser foot. Not gonna use a rolled presser foot. I'm just gonna do baby hem because girl, why are we trying to do all of that? Why the we trying to do all of that right now? I have very limited time right now. I have to go to Janet's place. We're having a little Chuseok celebration and like you already know I'm gonna be late. Time is just not on my side. Homegirl is messing with me. I have a lot of things, I'll have deadlines to finish, but we sew the line, iron it, blah, blah, blah. So I can lay back in to see my life. So we're gonna start with this, the shearing. Very excited, very scared because this is where we're gonna see if everything I just did right now was for nothing or it's gonna work out. We don't know if this is gonna be too big for me. We don't know many things. We don't know many things, but I guess we'll get there when we get there. And let's get started. Okay. I forgot, how do we do this? I gotta check. I did a little test run. Looks good. Looks good. I know that shearing takes a really long time as I've done it once beforehand. So we're gonna see how much we can get done in this short amount of time that we have. 2:23. I want to start getting ready by 3:30 so I have an hour. Can we do it? How much can we do? Let's see. 'Cause when the time comes for you to go, new day, and I hope to finish all of this today. Also, I feel like I might be losing my voice, which really sucks because my mom is coming in 2 days and we're gonna go on a trip for a week. So I'm trying not to talk that much, but I'm just gonna say that when I get to the short part, like the parts where like the short legs, the pant legs or whatever, it starts to get a little bit tricky because it's like it's hard following the line. But what I found is just going line by line, even though I am using more elastic thread, it's a lot easier than just to do a continuous line. And also just work slowly. Work slowly, it's fine, even though I am also rushing, but I'm just trying to do my best. Tips for you. Alright, so I got to this point where the front and bottom pieces of the pant legs are different. The back pieces are longer. I don't have any more area left to like sew, so you're just gonna do like lines in the back. It's not gonna connect to the front piece anymore, but that's fine. You're just gonna finish each individual like backside line, or at least if you're using the pattern that I used. Okay, I'm stuck with this situation that I do think is cute, but is not what I want. So what I'm gonna do is fold this over, and I'm gonna sew an additional line of the shearing. I am gonna leave a little space open just in case I do want to put in an elastic, but it might not be necessary. So fold over, sew over, and hopefully we'll be done. Okay, I understand why you're gonna want to put in an elastic. If you don't put an elastic, it's just gonna be out like this, which could look cute, but if you want it to be a little bit more flush against your body, then you're gonna have to put an elastic. So luckily I left enough space. I don't think I can put in my thicker elastic. Oh my god, I can't believe I did this. Well, I need to now also steam it because I haven't even done that, so I wonder how it's gonna. I don't know how to size up a pattern, so I'm checking TikTok.
Inches that you're going to add in each pattern piece. You're going to do this for the bust and
Pattern piece is done. It looks legit. So I'm gonna cut this out of my black fabric. That even though it's not the same like type, but as long as like the fit feels okay, hopefully that works. So let's cut it out. Wait, I just realized I only did that for the front part. I still gotta do the back piece. Dang. Wait a minute. Okay, here's our test run. It is a little big. This feels nice, but also still big. I'm gonna take it in using the original measurements and see how that fits. But then again, like this material is stretchy. Even though it is stretchy, it's still like quite big on me, so. Okay, this is roughly the original shirt size, which is what I should have gone with. I could even take it in like a little bit more, and even though this is stretchy, it's not like stretching on me, so I think we're good to go to cut. Damn, I did all of that for nothing. Well, lesson learned. Do you remember seeing a girl on TikTok saying that with working with older patterns, sometimes the sizing, you'll actually be a little bit smaller than what the measurements for that particular size is. Even though I am a size 10, the measurements on that was smaller, but the actual fit of the garment was going to be looser. So that's why I guess it still fit. Okay, so this video is already over 30 minutes long. I could have just added another project. Oh, but it's also not even done yet, but I'm really excited to finish it. Now let's get on to the reveals of the first two projects. We're starting off with the bloomers. Oh my God, they are the cutest. This was actually quite easy to make. The pattern for the other bloomers I had worked perfectly. I think if I have any extra fabric left over, maybe I might make some low-waisted ones, but these high-waisted ones are so comfortable. I can't wait to wear this for my trip with my mom. I already know that these are gonna be worn out so many times. Finally, I have another pair of shorts, and I love that they don't ride up and get too eaten by my thighs because the elastic is there holding it down, and oh my God, I can't get over them. Finally, the dress that took forever and a lifetime. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the dress worn out, but like I said, I knew that this would be something I would gravitate towards a lot, and that's exactly how it's been. It's such a statement dress, and I love to twirl around in it. Beforehand, I was wearing my other bloomers underneath, but now that I made my bloomers, I could finally wear this out as a set. I also think that because this dress is so short, it'll look really cute with some pants underneath it for the fall time. Wow, after everything I went through for this dress, it was truly worth it. I really hope that you learn from all my mistakes if you plan on making this dress. I can't wait to show you the next project, and if you have any suggestions for the little fabric that I have left over, let me know. And of course, thank you again so much to Trainwell for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to get your 14-day free trial and the link down below. Love you. Bye.